1-1-2. What you'll see is after he catches the ball, there's 4 steps before he's ready to release. And he's working through the ball pretty quickly. 1 flat's pretty good. That was that would have been a 1-2-2. Let's do 2 more. One, 2, 5. Might add a quick finger on that 1-0 because he's pretty much right around 1-2. All right, so I have Noah here in like a traditional fielding position, right? What you're gonna see is that Noah's a right-handed thrower, so his left knee is gonna be out, his left or glove hand is gonna be out over his knee, and this is how a lot of guys right now are fielding ground balls. So you can imagine, right? First basemen get into that position, but you have to think first basemen don't need to move. They don't need to be athletic to move through a ball. They're just simply sitting there and receiving. So what I'm going to introduce here, guys, is basically the 5 steps that I take my outfielders through when they want to learn this new, what I call 3-step release. To my outfielders. This is how I introduce this transition. So we'll start, first of all, we're going to start in a reverse position of traditional. So now it's going to be left knee down, but glove hand out. And we're just going to have our partner throw short hops to kind of feel how this position is going to be in. And you can see he is just receiving short hops out in front. That glove is out in front. It's not deep back behind his front knee. So what do you feel right now with the move by switching your left leg up to now your left leg being down? What do you feel in your body?
I have a little bit more control and range. Without my left knee down, I can move my arm around a little bit more and a little bit more versatile.
Okay, so what I'll do is once I get him to kind of feel that position, and again, not everybody is going to feel the same thing. We'll start again in this position, and we'll just work partner short hops back and forth. So typically you can do this with 2 outfielders. Right now we just have the 1. So let's go ahead and work short hops. Make sure your glove's out in front. You're going to have a good bend in your hips. And you're going to catch everything out in front. Now, one thing that you're noticing right here is Noah plays a little bit of infield. I would like to see him correct his glove presentation so that we have more glove fielding the ball, and I'll show you what that's going to look like here in a second. So what we want to have is we want to have a good glove presentation. We don't want to have essentially our palm facing the sky or our fingers facing the sky. We want to have our fingers down so that we're utilizing or maximizing all 12.5 to 13 inches of that glove. That allows us to keep us from getting palmed on a bad hop. And really now we have that good glove presentation, so we're working with that whole pocket. Okay, bring your hand in a little closer to your body and make sure you want to have the fingers of your glove pointed into the grass. A little better. So we're going to go back real quick just so I can show you a front view of what we don't want to have with our palm facing the sky in fielding these ground balls. So go ahead and stop. Now Noah, get your fingers, they're pointing straight into the grass, almost vertically. That's the glove presentation we want to have right there. You can see it. So if I zoom in, right there, you can see we have a full glove presentation. I usually teach the kids to get their fingers down into the grass versus having your palm facing up in the sky. Show me the other, that way right there. We don't want that, right? We've just lost about 4 inches of actual glove to catch the ball with. We want that position right there. Part two of this, right? We transitioned from part one. Part two, all we do is have the player stand up, almost in a lunge position. Okay, we want to have the glove out in front, pretty close to even with our front knee. And again, we're just going to throw short hops here. We want that good glove presentation. We want to feel like our fingers are pushing down into the grass. And we want to make sure that glove isn't scooping or flipping up. We want to be pushing our wrist almost out to our throwing partner to keep those that good glove presentation into the ground. You're probably not going to be that low. Go ahead and come up a little bit. This is also a good leg workout. All right, right there. That's probably ideal. We want to work from the grass up. The second part of step two of the transition is working on fielding balls that are in between. Ideally, every ball would be a short hopper on the ground, but that's traditionally not going to happen. So here, we're going to get into our same position that we were in two. You can also do this from position one, but just for time's sake, we're going to show it in position two. So go ahead and get to that spot where we're standing in our lunge position, and we're going to work in between hops. And what you're going to see is you should see Noah start out in front, and as the ball comes, he's going to sit back to make that in-between hop kind of a long hop into his glove. And you can catch this a little deep. Go ahead. Perfect. Okay, start with your glove out in front. We want to start in that position, then we work back into it. Perfect, just like that. Once you guys get good at this, then you can mix up the hops. You can go short hop, push through. You can do the short hop. You can give them an in-between hop, just so it doesn't become habit. Good. All right, so the third part of this transition drill is basically the step through, where we're just gonna take from our ground ball position, and that left leg is gonna start to move forward with our glove, okay? So we'll work that, and we're just working the steps so we can start to simulate the feel of our movement moving through the baseball. So in our position, one step. That's it. Go ahead and move back a couple feet, please. Perfect. So in our position out in front, right, we're not standing up, gloves on the ground, good glove presentation. And you can see what's happening here is that left leg is just coming through as our glove pushes through the ball. Now here you can also start to introduce, again, that in-between hop. So we feel we're in a position, we get that in-between hop, and all we do is rock back. So the fourth step in this progression is the three-step movement that moves us into glove transfer and then release of the baseball. Okay, so there's two really ways you can probably do this with a couple variations of each. The most popular one right now is probably what's been referred to as the pro step, which I think has kind of been coined by JT McGuire, and you'll see that here. So it's as that left leg comes through, the right leg kind of comes behind the lead leg, and you transition into release. So you can see now we've received the ball, 1, 2, 3, and we're in a good position to release. Good glove presentation, 1, 2, 3, and we're getting rid of ball. Here again, you can work in between hops. You can also add a variation into this where you make sure the person that's receiving the ball, when they get to that release position, has a good four-seam grip or a cross-seam grip against the baseball. So we're not throwing cutters from the outfield. And basically you're just gonna have him show that to his partner. So when the ball comes out, he's got four seams. All right, so the variation of the pro step is what I like to just call a step through. What you'll see in this is instead of seeing the right leg cross behind and go move past the lead leg, We're just gonna see, go ahead and do it in slow motion. So you're gonna see the lead leg left, right, and it stays in front instead of coming behind. I think your outfielders will naturally move into whatever they feel is comfortable. I was a traditional step through guy, probably because my hips just didn't move well enough to step behind. So let's go ahead and see that in full speed. So you can see, receive, 1, 2, 3, and we're releasing on 3 steps. Instead of what you'll typically find with guys who have their glove side leg down, it's traditionally 4 steps minimum to get rid of the baseball. So by moving to this 3-step release, we're eliminating 1 step out of the move to get rid of the baseball. Let's see one more. So next part of the drill here is I'll set up 2 baseballs. And if you have multiple groups, you can set up however many you want, but I'll set up 1 baseball on one side, 1 baseball about 10 or 15 yards away. And we'll actually work the full movement now. So the player will start on that ball, they'll go half speed, then you can work to 3/4 speed, they can work to full speed to this baseball. They'll break down, glove will go down, they'll work through the baseball, and we should see a 3-step release.